Hey there, comic book friends, I'm Travis, and this is another edition of What the Fugue, where I talk about what's going on with me in my week of comics. In a pretty good mood all around. Last week's comics were awesome. Had a great read of all of them. Just got done doing reviews with Ethan yesterday, so I'm still living off of that high. My comic books, which I normally get on Friday, today's Thursday. They came a day early, so how can you beat getting your comic books a day early? That's extra awesome. Trying to think if there's any kind of news going on. I don't really think there is. Nothing that was so, oh my gosh, that that I guess I really feel I need to talk about it. There's lots of interesting stuff out there, things I'm curious about and stuff, but nothing that's like, pressing or, fundamentally changing something or has me in a panic or whatever at this point. Oh, one thing, The Killing Joke. You guys have heard of that book, I'm assuming. Most of you are Batman fans. Yeah. And I guess Alan Moore's the guy who wrote it. Grant Morrison was on a podcast and mentioned something about the fact that, that in that book, Batman kills Joker at the end of it. There's some interesting conversations that you guys should go and check out. Some of the ones that I've watched I really enjoyed. James Donnelly, go check his out. He's, one of the Batman aficionados. He'll give you his take on it. Great listen to. Hulk's Big Toe, check out his. He talks about it too. He's one of the newer collectors. I believe he's a newer collector. That's Reddit. He talks about it some. Agent 42Q, Matt, check out his too. He's got a good take on it. I think his nails a lot of it also. Basically, the fact is, if you say it's cut and dry, you're probably full of it. I pretty much agree with that. Other than the fact it never really crossed my mind that Batman had killed him at the end of that, because it's just not a Batman thing. And then there are people out there who are trying to spin the thing on the internet, trying to spin it as being kind of an elsewhere book, which to me, that's the most absurd thing about the whole conversation, is that it be an elsewhere book. Because if it was an elsewhere book, why would they be working so hard in the New 52 to make sure that is folded into like Batgirl's continuity and stuff? It would have been much simpler to have said, oh, it was an elsewhere story and never had to worry about Barbara Gordon never having been Oracle or in the chair or any of that kind of stuff. Now, they worked really hard to make sure all of that stuff was valid and in continuity. Everybody embraced it as such. So trying to say it's an elsewhere book type thing now and that, yeah, Batman killed him, to me doesn't make any sense. But I don't really want to get off too much on that because everybody else has had great conversations about it, and I don't really have anything to add to it other than my own opinion, which doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Let's see. So last What the Fugue, I talked about the fact that at the end of the video that I was, this may be the last time I talk about these damn 3D covers. But the last video I mentioned that I canceled my order and I was getting something else, and I did. I got the cool thing, and I showed it off in the last comic book roundtable, but I figured I would show it here too because I know that not everybody watches the comic book roundtable, and it was at the very end of almost 2 hours when I showed it off, so I know that not everybody would have seen it there, and of course any chance I can get to show it off more, I'm going to show it off more. During one of the last comic book roundtables, we were talking about The Wake, issue number 3 in particular. Awesome book, great. This is the latest issue that's out. You've seen my reviews on it probably, or at least me talking about it. I hate calling them reviews. But you've seen me talking about it and about how much I liked it. And I pointed out, even in the review, I pointed out this page, page 13, here, where our merman is basically spitting some venom at Meeks. The character's name is Meeks, and it makes you hallucinate. And of course, Meeks' hallucination is this beautiful, beautiful panel that pretty much sums up Meeks' personality. And this is why I just think that this is incredible storytelling. Because there's no writing on that page. But that bottom panel there explains what Meeks' character is like. what he represents, because this is what he loves. This is what he loves. This is his desires and stuff. And this huge spread with this beluga whale and squid and crab and whatnot. And why am I showing you this again? Because I got my money back, and I went and got this instead, which is the original page by Sean Murphy. There it is. So you can see, well, I don't know if it'll focus well enough there, our merman. And there's that beautiful spread. Very, very pleased. Very pleased with getting this. Much happier not having to deal with the stress of the whole, the whole cover thing. As some of you know, I've got some other pages of original art. I'm a really big fan. I love the original art, seeing the actual craftsmanship that's there. When you get these inked pages like this, you can see the pencil lines in some places. You can see exactly how it was all put together, what maybe gets lost in the translation of the color to comic and the smaller page and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm not going to be one of those people that gets all those 52 3D covers and whatnot, but I have a piece of art that no one else owns. It's only mine. I own it. Everybody else owns copies of it. I own the original. And that makes me very happy. A very cool piece. I'm very excited by it. Yes, this cost more than the deal I was going to get on the covers, but if I paid face value for the covers, it's about the same. But yeah, very, very, very awesome. Love this page. The storytelling in it is just incredible. That in a panel we can be explained the whole, the wholeness of the character, and to me that's just awesome. So there it is. I don't got a lot else to talk about this week as far as comics and what's going on in comics. Tomorrow, Friday, the 23rd at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Time, 9:30 Eastern Time is the Comic Book Roundtable. I believe that Scott Constant Romstar is hosting it. Maybe I'm hosting it. We've been talking on Twitter, and I'm not exactly 100% sure who is. So one of us can be on one of our channels and whatnot. Check that out. I'll tell you now, I'll try to do a better job of paying attention to the comments. Now that I kind of understand the comments kind of feed in weird in the feed that I use to kind of watch it. They're kind of out of order. But I'll watch it as close as I can, especially if I'm not hosting. I'll watch it closer so we get your guys' comments in there and whatnot, because that's all part of it too. Even though I know when everybody logs in that thing, you talk amongst yourselves too, and that's awesome. That's part of what it's all about. I just think that's great that everybody gets there and talks comics, whether we're totally interactive with you or not. The fact that you guys are interacting with each other, that's pretty cool. I have gotten some interesting ideas given to me about my second year anniversary that's coming up, some potentials as to what I might do there. Still not 100% sure exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do some sort of question and answer thing, because people seem to be interested in that, to be able to ask me questions about stuff, and we'll see if I can answer them or will answer them or whatever. I'm cool with that. That sounds like that'll be fun. Still hesitant on the whole contest thing. I don't know exactly what I want to do there. I was told I don't need to give out gifts, that's not what it's about. And it's true. It sure isn't. And for me, it's not a sub contest. I'm not doing a sub contest because I'm not here to generate subs. I want to, on my second anniversary, celebrate the great fun I've been having with all of you guys who watch the videos and comment and participate in my comic book collecting. That makes the whole thing a lot more fun. Well, I'm gonna go, so I quit saying so often, and I will catch some of you guys on the weekend. Have a great one.